What's going on, guys? Jaxx the Bearded Hiker here with another backpack review. The Kumo 36 by Gossamer Gear. Let me start off by saying this pack is awesome. Did I just say awesome? You know, I'm starting to think that this whole awesome thing is entirely overused. All right, so I'm thinking maybe we should switch this up a little bit and use a different word. Maybe let's use the word spectacular. Groovy, man. How about Jaxxalicious? I'm digging the Jaxxalicious thing. All right, so I know you guys got other things you could be doing right now, like watching the finale of Glee. So let's get busy. So don't let the Kumo's small size fool you. You can get a lot of gear in here. So the Kumo basically is a one-size-fits-all. It'll fit a torso length between 16 inches to 24 inches or 5'4" to 6'4". Now I will say this, my wife is 5'2". She tried this pack on, it was too big for her, so I have no reason to believe that the 5'4" to 6'4" is not accurate. It also has a load limit on it of 25 pounds and 20 pounds being the most optimal. All right, for those of you who care as far as specs is concerned, we have 22 inches in length, we have 11 inches in width, and we have 4.5 inches in depth, which goes this way. Now, if you were to unlock this, you will actually get another 9 inches out of it, and it will also fit a bare canister. The Kumo 36 comes in at 19.6 ounces or 555 grams. Now you could easily shave 3 to 4 ounces off that by detaching the hip belt and some of the other attachment points. So I really like the color scheme that Gossamer Gear has came up with on this pack. It's made from a 70 and a 100 denier Robic nylon, and with, I would call it a gray color, and with the accents of red and charcoal. Starting off here, we have quite a few attachments points. You have 2 right here, and there's various other attachment points on the pack itself. We also have a haul strap here, and I don't know if you can see this, but back here we have a port on either side for your hydration tube, and also inside it has a hydration sleeve that you can use. Okay, on the front of the pack here, we have what they call an OTT system, and we'll get to that in just a second. But firstly, let me tell you, there's a zippered pocket here, which allows you access to the OTT system. Now, I will say you can't put a lot of gear in here. It's more gonna be for maps, wallets, just something small. I happen to keep my hygiene kit in here, which is relatively small, like this. You can see how it's a little bit flat, and also keep some spare batteries in there. And for anyone interested, at the end of this video, if you're interested in what I actually have in this pack and what I actually took on the Superior Hiking Trail, stay tuned at the end of the video, and I will do a gear dump. The OTT Closure stands for over the top, and basically what that means is you unlatch this and it allows you to get access to the pack, and then it also has this little latch right here. So once you do that, then you have access to the pack. When you get your gear stowed away or whatever, you just basically latch this back and then fold back down and latch those. Okay, moving on down to this gargantuous mesh pocket that holds, I mean, I don't even know if they don't add this into the liters, but it's a huge, huge, huge pocket. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, you'll see exactly how much gear that I have in here, and it will even fit some more gear. Turning over to the side, you can see you have some lashing here. Really didn't find a need for that. Plenty of room in these pockets right here. And right now, I mean, I'm able to get 2 smart water bottles in here. Obviously, this is not a smart water bottle, but you are able to get 2 of those in there. The way I carried it on the Superior Hiking Trail was 1 smart water bottle and 1 Gatorade bottle. But I can tell you, and I'm going to show you a clip right now of what else can fit in the side of this thing. All right, so this right here is the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. This is the complete tent setup. I don't use a tent, I use a hammock, but I'm just wanted to use this. This pocket is big enough to fit the whole setup in there. The compression straps, I could not really get over it, but you could easily replace those. So this thing could hold a tent setup on the outer portion. On the bottom here, you can see there's another attachment point. I believe this is for an ice axe, or you could modify it or do some other things with it if you didn't need an ice axe. So let's turn it over here and we'll talk about this hip belt. Now this is a completely removable hip belt, very small, but large enough to hold and this is where I carried this little Nikon AW120 with the attachment for the tripod in this pocket. Could carry keys, could carry wallet, but not a whole lot of stuff. In this one, and that's what I carried. That I have a headlamp in here, plus a little small pocket knife. I'll just show you that. I'll get with all this at the end of the video. Not completely impressed with these pockets, but they are removable. And honestly, guys, if you are carrying anywhere from 25, 20 pounds or even less, you really don't need a hip belt. Front of the pack, or this is what they would call the front of the pack, or this is actually what would be on your back. You can see that they have the same mesh here and here that's on the front of the pack, and this allows you to put which comes with this pack. It's a sit light pad, and it's only about, I'm gonna say maybe, I think it's probably, I don't know, maybe a ½ an inch thick. It's kind of an egg crate type deal. It's maybe a ½ inch thick at the very highest point, maybe a $1/4 inch at the bottom of the egg point. I liked it. It keeps I guess your pack, or the stuff inside your pack when your back sweats, from getting wet. It does have a problem bunching up here, which I would probably call a con. But it really wasn't that big of a deal. But what I really like about this mesh here is, you can see right here what I have here, and I just stuck these in here for you to see. But when you have this pack on, these are easily reachable. So it's just a bag of nuts. You can keep some candy bars in here, and you just reach in there, grab them out, and eat on the run. Really like that about this pack. All right, so the shoulder straps, they're probably, I'm gonna say, about a $1/4 inch thick. Not a whole lot of padding you have here, but again, guys, you don't need, if you got 20 to 25 pounds in a pack or less, you really don't need that much padding here. A couple of attachment points here. You also have the, which pretty much comes standard with most packs, is the whistle. And again, they never really work that great. So if you're into carrying whistles or the survival thing, you might want to bring an extra whistle. Had no problems latching this. It is adjustable for height. So if you're, a chick, you might want to move this up or down depending on what your size is. I did, one of the things that I would like to say about this is that I'm a big proponent in having my liquids or phone or whatever kind of where it's reachable, and there's There is an attachment point here, and let's see if I can kind of go in close here. Hopefully you can see that, but it's just a little round D-ring type thing. And I just kind of put some shock cord on here so I could carry my Gatorade bottles on here. I kind of wish there's like, it's not a daisy chain here, and I kind of wish that there was, which, you know, again, that would be what I would call a con, but maybe you wouldn't call it a con. Honestly, guys, there's not a whole lot of cons about this pack that I can tell you. I mean, it's super, super, super comfortable riding pack. So one of the things about the hip belt that I would say is, you know, once you tighten it down, I did find that I was constantly having to, you know, pull on this to get it to tighten up. But again, guys, honestly, I will probably, if I carry this pack again, I will probably detach the hip belt because I really don't feel like you need it. Another thing that you might find annoying, I know I did, I find it bears mentioning, and when I would undo the buckle, these fall down, and with a little bit of weight in them, I noticed that they did get twisted. So you really have to, I mean, you see how it's doing right now. You just kind of make, and sometimes it'll even twist more than once. And so you're walking around and you're like, oh man. So you kind of got to make sure that everything is lined up, you know, properly. Not that that's a con, it's just something that happens. My other packs don't do it, but again, I'm not comparing this. I don't want to compare this pack to my other pack. So now that we've concluded this review on this Gossamer Gear Kumo 36, we're going to go inside and I'm going to unburden myself of all the weight. But before we do that, I want to tell you this. You could easily take this pack on a through hike of the AT or the PCT. Easily. So what you guys are about to see is everything that's in this pack that I took on the Superior Hiking Trail. And we're going to go through this really quick. This right here, the Barca Lounger. Sit pad. I made videos on that before. In the top compartment here, I had butt wipes. I had my hygiene kit. Extra batteries. That was everything in there. So let's go ahead and go on the outer sleeve. The Hydra Pack water filtration bag. I had alcohol for my stove in here. Water filtration system. My ever new coffee cup. This right here is just a spice kit. It also has some ibuprofen in there. Tent stakes. My spoon. I had, actually this is not exactly what I had. I had one smart water bottle and 2 Gatorade bottles that I used. I'm just using that in there as a filler. In this side I had my little scoop that I use. It's a cereal cup, Nutter Butter bite cup that I use to filter water sometimes. Also inside of that I have my Z-Packs pack cover, which I really didn't need, even though it was raining. In here I had my stove systems, complete stove set. That's everything on the outside. Let's go inside. I had inside here, this was it's a Z-Packs liner, bag liner. That's why I didn't really need the pack cover. Anyway, let's open this up. Alright, inside, rain jacket. This right here is an empty bag, but I had 5 pounds of food and snacks in this little gear. or I mean dinners and snacks and whatever. All my clothing that I wore for at night and an extra pair of socks. Hammock suspension system right here. I had my top quilt. This is my under quilt right here. My hammock, my tarp, and sock in this bag here. And here's the bag liner here. And the other thing that I'm not showing you in here right now was my down jacket, which was in here as well, or I wore it. The pockets, I kept the Nikon AW120 that you've seen already, and in this pocket I kept my headlamp and my knife right here, and that's it. The only thing that I actually, maybe one other thing that's not in here was the keys to my vehicle. The Kumo 36 liter by Gossamer Gear. Do it.